Jeff Rains coming to you again with Foundation of Civilization in our changing world. And for a while now, I've wanted to be able to keep up to date. Do a daily report. Of course, busy life and all keeps me from being able to do too much. The current news cycle, I could be doing this 24 hours a day. Of course, I don't have that kind of time, but every day seems to be something new happening right in front of us, which alters the course of our world. I wanted to hit some high points over the past 48 hours, and from Israel, or Gaza in particular, there is a report of 74 people being killed in Gaza, some from Israeli airstrikes, and some from gunfire as people gathered for food. Now, I have to be careful here because the sources are not cited, so I don't know how accurate this information is. Over in India, there was a massive explosion at a pharmaceutical factory, and the death toll there has increased to 36. I find it rather suspicious that this occurs while the United States and China are conducting trade negotiations, and some of the trade that has been going to China is being shifted to India, especially pharmaceuticals. We certainly need to have something happening with the pharmaceutical industry. We can't. The way that China has been treating the United States, we can't just trust them with being the source of our pharmaceutical products. Many of you noted, and this is coming from Sunday, a shooter in Idaho killed 2 firefighters. Apparently, the shooter lured firefighters by starting a fire, and then when the firefighters arrived there was a dispute, and the shooter retreated to some position and shot several firefighters and paramedics. 2 were killed. 2 firefighters were killed. The shooter was later recovered, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. His name was Wes Val Rowley, 20-year-old from the area, and this is near Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Earlier this week, Canada and the United States were in the midst of negotiations for trade negotiations. Several years ago, Canada passed a new tax on digital services, which will apply to companies such as Google, Apple, Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook, and other digital companies. During the trade negotiations this past week, Canada representatives elected to implement a tax and backdate it to 2022. In response, the U.S. president said, all right, enough of the trade negotiations. He ended the trade negotiations right then and there, or he directed his representatives to end them then and there, and he stated that he was going to implement tariffs on Canadian products. Canada responded by saying that they were going to implement tariffs on U.S. steel, and everybody went home. And Canada held out for about 24 hours, called back and said, "Okay, we'll scrap the new digital tax, digital services tax." I just find it kind of funny as I listen to this, and especially as I listen to people discuss the U.S. president and claim that he failed again, and then 24 hours later, less than 24 hours later, they have to. Well, I'd say they have to walk it back, but unfortunately, a lot of them are just too proud to even admit that they were wrong. I try to give things a little bit of time so that they can mature and find out what the details are. I figured Canada would come back to the table. But if I was going to guess, I would have given them a little less than a week. I would have said that they made it back by Saturday. Well, obviously I was wrong there. They made it back the next day. The U.S. Senate has passed the president's spending bill. This is to continue to fund the government through the rest of the fiscal year. It extends tax breaks, implements some of the spending cuts that he's been looking for, some of the cuts, just a few. It adds new money for national defense, taking it from about $800 billion to $1 trillion. And it also adds money for deportations for up to 10,000 agents, adding 10,000 agents to deport illegal immigrants. It also increases the deficit, which have some on Capitol Hill worried. It has many people off of Capitol Hill worried. Those people who know how to balance a checkbook. Now, the bill has to go back to the House again before the law can be signed by the president. This past week, Washington, the state and federal prosecutors have charged more than 320 people, uncovering nearly 15 billion, that's a billion with a B, and false claims that they described this was the largest coordinated takedown of healthcare fraud schemes in Justice Department history. In fact, the last one, I believe, was about half this much. Half as many people and half as much money. Law enforcement officers seized $240 million in cash, luxury vehicles, cryptocurrency, and other assets. This was, and prosecutors warned of growing transnational criminal networks that are exploiting the U.S. healthcare system. And whenever you wonder why the cost of everything in healthcare keeps going up, it's not just because they have too many bureaucrats that do nothing to help patients get better. This crackdown identified perpetrators based in Russia, Eastern Europe, Pakistan, and other countries. The last thing I want to cover today is alligator Alcatraz. It is the colloquial term that is being used for a facility in South Florida in the Everglades because it's surrounded by alligators. It's also surrounded by Burmese pythons, water moccasins, rattlesnakes, black racers, but black racers are actually pretty nice. I'd say Florida panthers, but there's not a lot of Florida panthers down there now, so you really have to be worried about the alligators and the water moccasins. Well, today it was opened. It was toured by the president, who was joined by the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Florida Governor and other state emergency management officials. Toured the facility, and I believe it's supposed to actually start receiving people tomorrow. This facility is set up to transfer immigrants back to their home countries or to third-party countries. It actually it has a runway right next to it, so they can pick them up and ship them out very quickly. Now, I'll also make a note that some of the numbers that I've heard, and this was an estimate, but the people that are being deported right now, 70% of them are illegal immigrants with criminal records in the United States. They are individuals who've come here, they have and then they couldn't figure out how to follow the laws here and keep their noses clean, so they got picked up for violence, robbery, domestic violence, for DUI, and causing injury and harm to other people. Now, and 70% of the people that they're picking up and shipping to places like Alligator Alcatraz are those individuals that have these kind of criminal records in the United States. The 30% are collateral. Those are people that are living with them that they find that are also in the country illegally. That wraps it up for today, and I look forward to talking to you guys again. I've got some more things planned for this week, and love talking to you guys. If you found this useful, please like, share, and subscribe. And look forward to talking to you guys again very soon in the near future. Again, this is Jeff Rains with Foundation of Civilization. Thank you very much for listening, and you all have a wonderful day.